So who is the Klipsch Courtyard 4.1 actually good for? Who should skip it, and does it really justify the price for the everyday backyard music lover? If you've ever stood in your patio wondering whether a big bass, small space speaker set can survive a sudden summer storm, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm about to walk through the real-world pros and cons that most marketing videos gloss over. First off, let's talk about the situation that pushes most people toward a system like this. You probably have a deck, a poolside lounge, or a garden nook where you want music to flow without dragging a massive floor-standing tower inside. You might have tried portable Bluetooth boxes, only to discover they sputter when a drizzle shows up or they simply lack the low-end punch for a weekend barbecue. The Courtyard 4.1 tries to fill that middle ground, a compact, weather-ready package that claims everything you need for outdoor listening. The big question is whether the trade-offs hidden in that promise line up with your actual use case. Who should buy it? If you're a homeowner with a modestly sized patio, say, 12 to 20 feet across, who enjoys hosting low-key gatherings, movie nights by the fire pit, or even just streaming your favorite playlist while you grill, this system fits like a glove. The design is meant to be mounted or placed on a low stand, so it won't dominate the visual space. The integrated subwoofer is tucked into the rear cabinet, delivering a surprisingly tight bass thump for a footprint that's barely larger than a garden gnome. For anyone who wants to forget about covering speakers with a tarp every time a thunderstorm rolls through, the Bring On Elements claim holds up. The enclosure is rated for rain, UV exposure, and temperature swings, meaning you can leave it out year after year without worrying about rust or warped wood. Who should skip it? If your primary listening area is a living room with a dedicated home theater setup, the Courtyard 4.1 will feel underpowered and lacking in detail. Audiophiles who chase precise imaging, layered instrument separation, or that cinematic surround experience will quickly notice the limits of a 4-speaker bundle designed for a garden, not a calibrated acoustic environment. Likewise, renters or folks who only have a balcony the size of a kitchen counter might find the system overkill. A single weatherproof Bluetooth speaker would achieve the same goal for less money and less installation effort. Now let's break down the practical strengths you'll notice right after unboxing. The first thing that impressed me during a test run at a friend's pool was the simplicity of the setup. There are no complicated calibrations or app-driven EQ menus, just power cables, a single speaker wire pair, and a subwoofer line-in. You plug the main unit into an outdoor-rated amp, or a small powered receiver if you already have one, snap the satellite speakers into the brackets, and you're ready to go. The simple setup tagline isn't just marketing fluff, it actually reduces the barrier for anyone who isn't comfortable climbing on a roof to wire a system. The next strength is the bass response. In a typical backyard scenario, you're not trying to feel the floor vibrate like a concert hall, you just want that low-end thump that gives a barbecue playlist some body. The Courtyard's dedicated subwoofer manages to push a solid 45 Hz down to the ground feel without distorting, even when the volume is cranked to a level that fills a 200-square-foot patio. That's a real win over most portable Bluetooth boxes, which often lose bass the moment you step outside. Durability is another practical advantage. The cabinets are coated with a UV-resistant finish, and the speaker grills are made from a rust-proof metal mesh. During a surprise rainstorm at a weekend gathering, the system kept humming while the rest of the outdoor gear got drenched. I've seen cheaper outdoor speakers short out after a few splashes. These held up without any hiss or dropout. But there are trade-offs you need to consider. The power handling is modest. You'll need a decent amp that can deliver at least 100 watts per channel to get the most out of the system. If you're planning a large party with 30 to 40 guests and you want the music to cut through the chatter and a distant lawn, you may find yourself turning the volume up to the amp's limits, and the sound can start to sound a little tinny in the high frequencies. In other words, the system shines in intimate settings but begins to strain in larger open-air environments. Connectivity is another area where the Courtyard falls short of the most modern expectations. There's no built-in Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, so you're stuck with a wired connection to an external amplifier or receiver. For most users, That's not a deal breaker, especially if you already have a small AV receiver tucked in a weatherproof cabinet, but it does mean you can't just pull out your phone and stream directly to the speakers. You'll need a line-in source or a Bluetooth to RCA adapter if you want wireless convenience. Finally,